I'm Alexis Bolin, Pensacola, Florida, which is northwest Florida. I'm glad everybody else is moving down to Naples. I've got less competition up there. And I'm thinking about selling my practice to Jack because you're all already in South Florida. And so when he retires, he can just buy my business and come to Northwest. But if anybody else wants to do that, let me know. I'm listening to everybody talk about what they're doing, and of course I marvel at all of the technical things you guys do. And Alexis is just a stick in the mud because I've never gotten away from basics. You know, I'm just a pretty simple character. So I'm still doing the same things I always did, which is high touch with a little tech. And so I'm still doing my television show. It's a live call-in show, the fourth Tuesday of every month. Some of you have been on it. How many of you have been on the TV show? Yes. If you've been to Pensacola, you've been on that show. And so I still do a lot of business with that on my call-in talk show. The other thing I do in touching the people is I'm all about fun. And so you have a CD with things that I send out. So when you're talking about high touch and what you want to send to these people, you can do it in postcards, you can do it in email, you can make a flyer out of it, do anything you want, but I want them to laugh. I'm not asking them for any business, I'm just having fun. So one of the things on there is the perks of being over 50. And the first thing says, kidnappers are not very interested in you. In a hostage situation, you're likely to be the first released. People call at 9 p.m. and ask, did I wake you? You can eat dinner at 4 o'clock and justify it. You can live without sex, but not your glasses. So I won't read them all to you, but there are things there like the circle of life, which at age 4, success is not wetting your pants, and at age 80, success is not wetting your pants. And there's other things such as things that you can do with Alberto VO5, other uses for those coffee filters if you're not using the latest Keurig machines and you're actually buying coffee filters, things you can do with that. 11 things you can do with Morton salt, because you know everybody's back to being green and they're not even buying cleaning products anymore. They're back to using things that our grandparents used, which is like white vinegar. And so all of that is in here. It's on your CD. I'll pass this around for you to take a look at. It's not anything complicated here, folks. It's just back to basic stuff. And I have to tell you, they absolutely, totally love it. They expect it. They're so used to getting this information from me that if they don't get it, they're wondering where it is. So I would suggest that you do that. It's real inexpensive stuff. There's enough stuff on that CD for you to do probably a year or two of sending things out. The other thing is doing the high touch. I pick up the phone when I'm in the car and I use my car time. Now I know some of you only work, you know, a little box, and I understand the necessity because you're in a big metropolitan area, but where we are, I work 2 counties. And so in my drive time, which by the way, 45 minutes from one end of one county to the end of the next county. So, but I do use my drive time to call. And I make a phone call. Typically, if they're at work, I'm calling home because I can make more phone calls. And the phone call just is very simple. Hi, Marcia, this is Alexis. I was just thinking about you the other day and wondering how things are going with you and your family. No need to return my telephone call. I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know I care. And that's the end of the conversation. Thanks, have a good day. End of conversation. You guess how many of my phone calls get returned? All of them. They all call back after I tell them it's not necessary to call me back. I'm just thinking about you. And they all call back. And so particularly with my elderly people, they'll be home. So I start my conversation with, I'm on the cell phone. I'm on my way to an appointment. So I've only got a couple of minutes here. And that way I can get on and get off and still touch base with them. Nobody calls and checks in on them. So I suggest that, you know, you do little things like that. And the other thing I want to share is charity. Get involved, as many of you are, with different charities in your area that you care about. You all know that I'm a Rotarian. I love Rotary. And so we do a lot of things internationally and locally with the Rotary Club, but I'm also involved in other charities. And so if you'll tie what you do to a charity, then you will help the community, it will help you, you'll do so much more business because people see that you're community-minded and you're charity-minded. You don't ask for business, I never do. They never hear me ask for anything for business. I'm always just out there involved. One of the things our CRS chapter did last year was we did Christmas for seniors. And we partnered with the Council on Aging, and we have a real nice bed and breakfast downtown. They gave us use of their facilities. Some of our title companies and our lenders brought refreshments. We invited the entire board of realtors to come, and the Council on Aging gave us a list of things they needed for the seniors, and we brought it. And it was free to the people who are attending. All they had to do is bring something for the seniors. The Council on Aging was thrilled, and we did a great thing for the community, because at Christmas time, nobody thinks about seniors. They think about kids. They think about families with children, and the seniors are kind of just left out there, and so many of them have no family in the area that checks on them, or they're there but they don't really care. And so it's so important at that stage and age of their life that somebody reaches out and touches them. So I would suggest that you get involved with that. If you're members of your chapters, that's a suggestion, that something that your chapter may want to take up, because, you know, it's just an important thing to do.